Welcome to Forever Exiled. I'm Justin, aka Tags.
Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
Hi. Episode 191 of our podcast. And here we are.
Just
us. That's it. Yep, it's us. Big shout out to all of our patrons, other people who support the podcast. Thank you so much. Boosters, all the things you do. Thanks everybody for supporting us. We love it. Patreon gets you access to After Dark, which is our podcast after the podcast. It's just more of us, more podcasts, more audio glory for your ears to consume.
And honestly, what else would you want? I can't think of anything. I mean, that would be like the greatest giveaway at the Super Bowl.
That's right. A month of Patreon
Dark subscription.
It's the greatest thing. Yeah, that's 4 episodes.
Hook them.
Yeah.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Pretty big prize. Anyway, thanks everybody for supporting the podcast. If you don't have it, go get it. And then you can listen to us in After Dark. But
and thank you very much this week as well for all the kind reviews that you provided for us. Thank you.
One of them, right? I think I can't remember, but I think I sent you one of them. Somebody loved your builds.
And so thank you, everyone. Yes, you did. And so thank you very, very much. It was
yeah, love it.
We read your stuff and we really appreciate it.
Yep.
It warms our hearts and makes us feel super comfy inside and out.
You can hit that 5-star on Spotify or Apple Podcast or on our website. That's the only option. Anyway.
crickets. And these forest fires just don't seem to be going away. So, I mean, we shouted out a week or two ago, hoping that our Albertan friends are fine, but now it's just all over the country. Like the Maritimes is getting hit really hard. Center of the country, Alberta's still going strong. We're going strong. Just forest fires are very popular this time of year, so hopefully everybody's staying safe.
I think somebody messaged me that was in Nova Scotia that was dealing with them too. It's crazy.
He said it wrong. Nova Scotia.
Yeah, so anyway, hopefully everybody's staying safe. How's your week, Ty?
In Nova Scotia. I had a low-key week. It was nice. I mean, just as tired and exhausted as a, normal parent would be, but it was nice. It was a normal week of lawn mowing and weeding and trimming and cleaning the inside of the house, coaching baseball for my son's 8-year-old team. I'm not the coach. I'm just one of the helper coaches, but I get a hat. So,
do you find at this age the parents are still chill?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you say yeah, but our friends whose kids are not that much older than Oliver play baseball, and they're struggling now at this age because the parents are getting nasty, like yelling at kids during the game. Even not even their own. I mean, not that you should be yelling at your own kids. Jesus, they're playing a freaking game for fun. But yeah, they've been saying they've been having issues in their area with parents being dicks, which I saw in my nephew's hockey when he got to about 10, 11. I remember only going to one game ever, and my sister-in-law was so embarrassed because I yelled at 3 dads because I thought they were being assholes to their kids. I was like, holy shit, you guys. And I told them off with her, and she was like part of the team, I guess. I'm not a fan of that.
No, me neither. In this regards, maybe the league's not that competitive yet, but it's the parents are good. I mean, we have a hard time controlling the parents, but it's because they're trying to be kind and stuff. Like they're giving the kids treats in the dugouts, and then it's distracting them because then they're not going on deck on time, or they're going out with their spits, their sunflowers, or somebody wants to take a team picture, and they're just trying to be supportive and kind and help the kids who half of them are bored out of their mind and don't want to play, right? They sign up and they're like, this sucks.
I gotta sit here and wait.
Right? Like some of the 8-year-olds, they're like ready, right? They're in the outfield and they're ready to go. They're doing what the coach says and all this kind of stuff. They take things like really literally. So when the coach says like, okay, now put your glove like this and make sure you're ready, they're like that the whole time. Awesome. There's like no stretching. Like you have to tell them like, it's okay. Like in between batters, you can stretch and move your legs, and then they look at you like, oh, that's great because my arm gets so tired out there, and they're not even doing anything. Whereas there's other kids, they're like tossing their glove in the air, and the ball's getting hit and they're still trying to catch their glove.
Yep.
So it's kind of fun. Like just before the pitch is going to happen, you yell out to one of the outfielders like, hey, put your glove on, pay attention.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we're I guess blessed
Hopefully
with good parents right now, but we also don't really have a problem telling parents to get out or don't do that right now or calm down, and it's a kind of a league right now where like we're cheering on the other team and they cheer on our players too. You know what I mean? Like we'll have one of the coaches in it's still a league where like the coaches are in the outfield a little bit whispering like, hey, throw here, do this, because there's just not at that skill level yet. And the coaches help out both teams like, no, run now, run. Even though we're in the outfield, the coach will say to run. So
yeah,
I have no problem telling off other people's parents too.
Oh, my buddy was saying that the last weekend when they had a set of games or tournament or whatever, he had to stay as he's one of the coaches as well. He had to stay as a third base coach to keep the parents that were in that area from yelling at the kids, because he had to tell them off because they were yelling at the kids. And it's like, holy crap, guys. First off, They're not professionals. They're not going professional. They're just trying to play a game. Just calm down.
That's right. No, just enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Parents with kids and stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
Just have fun. Let them like remember how fantastic it was.
Yep. Kids will learn to hate it real quick. They don't.
Yeah. Don't be a dick.
That's right. First rule of Discord.
That is our only rule of, well, that and no spoilers. You can't spoil a baseball game.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, it was a normal week and it was fantastic. We have a school event this evening that the kids are extremely excited for. So it's been a nice chill week, spent time with the family and
awesome.
Yeah, it was good. Newspapers yesterday and the kids were really lazy. I'm not helping anymore. Now I'm just supervising. And so my kids are, I just started. So we have a newspaper cart trolley that we carry the 70 papers around with, right? And it's pretty heavy, of course, to start off with. And I was doing that. And then, it starts off with me like grabbing the papers, folding them, and then giving it to them and telling them which house. Then they figure out which houses do and don't get papers. And so then they do that on their own. Then they start getting their own papers, right? You progress over the year. And now it's just to the point where they're like taking the cart and doing everything. And yeah, it's fun. So now I just sit there and I have to do my very best to not look at my phone often. I'm like enjoying my moment with my children while they deliver papers 50 yards away from me. So
nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Well,
no, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it was a great week. How about you? Did you have a week that you want to talk about?
I do. I'll talk about some of my stuff. Monday was fun. We went out for dinner with our buddies. Went out to Boston Pizza. That was fun.
Oh, I was thinking like other friends. Yeah, no, we did. Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. Went out for some dinner before we raced. Got the carbs in before we sat down into our race cars and raced. Yeah, that was fun. I had a very disappointing yesterday. Yesterday was June 1st. Okay. So here's my week. I'm not really going to talk about it. Same as always, just super busy. I will say what I've really been focusing on in my brain this week, and it's been good for me, has been to just not give the negative people my energy. I'm not focusing on them. I'm focusing on the other stuff. It's actually been really good for me this week. But yesterday, Thursday, so effing busy. Like my whole morning starting from like 7:30 was just emails and phone calls. And I was working here. I was in my house working from my office here, and I had a meeting at 1:30. So I was working the whole day, just absolutely swamped. And 1:00 rolls around. And I'm like, okay, I got to start getting ready. And as I'm getting ready to leave the house, I'm like, man, there was something like what? I feel like I'm missing something today. I don't know how I missed the reminder in my calendar, but at 1:00, I realized that the BC liquor store sale for the booze that I wanted started at 10 a.m. And I had planned for it the night before. I had gone online, figured out what I was going to have to do. So I was like, it was 1:00, 3 hours later. I'm like, no. So I run back to my computer, log on to the BC liquor store, select our, because there are only specific liquor stores within BC that are going to be selling these. So I picked the one that's closest to us, and it puts me in a 10-minute queue. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll sit through this freaking 10-minute queue. So I'm doing
and you're trying to leave.
I'm trying to get out because I got a meeting to get to for 1:30. And so I'm just dealing with
what's it called? Blanton's?
Blanton's. And so Blanton's, there were 3 versions. There was Blanton's Gold, Blanton's Original, and then they made a special Blanton's Original for BC Liquor. So there was like a special case or whatever for the Blanton's Original that was going to be sold only at BC Liquor stores. Blanton's Gold and the special one for BC Liquor were the only 2 that were going to be available for pre-order. The normal Blanton's Original, which is the one I actually want, is only going to be available June 17th if you show up and stand in line. So I was like, whatever, I'll see if I can buy the Gold or the original one that's special for BC Liquor. So anyway, I wait the 10 minutes, get in, and the Gold's already sold out. I was like, son of a, but the original for a BC Liquor showed that it was still available. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just order that one because at least it's the original. It was price was actually fine. I was actually surprised the Blanton's was as good price as it was compared to what I've been paying for Bookers. So I go through, you got to fill out a form, right, to get to order it or whatever. So I fill it in, pick my pickup date, says there's 5 available pickup date or times on the day that I'm going to go for. It was Father's Day actually that I was going to pick it up. Hit the button and it's like the item that you selected is no longer available. And I was like, so
they don't hold it in queue while you fill out. Are you serious?
And I only took like 2 minutes to fill out the form. It didn't take me that long. It really, like it took me about 2 minutes to fill out the form.
That's like internet rules from the 90s.
So I went to my 1:30
That's crazy.
meeting depressed. I was not happy.
No kidding.
I was so pissed off. So anyway, I won't stand in a lineup. I don't need booze that bad. I messaged a buddy of mine who has some and I'm like, just heads up, I'm coming over. Because I couldn't get it, so I'm coming to drink yours. But yeah, and then also I know we both were talking about this, but congratulations, Darkwing Drunk, having a baby girl. That's exciting. Very cool on Discord. So he's had a pretty cool week and going to have very busy next few weeks. But otherwise, you know what? My week was fine. It
really slows down after a couple
weeks. It gets easy. Now that the baby's
totally fine.
And C-section, you're fine. Right? You're fine.
Now that she's sneezed, it's...
Yeah, well, it was cesarean, so it's going to be... The recovery sucks. But yeah, it was a good week overall. There's other stuff that I could talk about, but I'm not going to. But yeah, it was just very busy still. I was talking to somebody last night, and they said, so when do you think it's going to calm down? I'm like, I'm not even guessing anymore. 2 months. That's my guess right now. 2 months. So yeah. Anyway, that was my week.
I think you need to hire someone else.
We're trying to hire people right now
to help you.
We've talked about it, but I don't give, I like control. I'm not good at the, there's some stuff that I like to, and it's my own fault. It's a thing I have to work through, but I'm not good at giving some of my control away.
You didn't have a lot of time to yourself before, and now you have way less. I think now's the time.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so that was my week. And your week, what do we got? I see private league ended. Oh, I need to order points. Sorry to the people. Those are coming. That's on me. That's on Tyler. I got to order those. I'll order those today, and then we'll get them out to you this week. Sorry for the winners.
No, that's all right. It's been fantastic. We had a great private league. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of people into the league the entire time. There were lots of people that weren't a part of the private league that were talking about the private league. So it was a lot of fun for those who were on Discord or not. But thank you everyone who played our private league. We hope you died lots and had fun dying lots. A special shout out to Crew, who got 100 in hardcore solo self-found in, what was it, like half a day?
How come I can't see the announcement in FE Legends for the winner of this event? Wait, isn't it Crucible? Oh my God. I was looking at Crew as 91 and I was like, nah, that must be an old one. That guy got a 100 and a 91. Jeebus. Good Lord. Wow. All right. Well, whatever.
So, but special congrats to getting 100 in a very short event in hardcore solo self-found. Congratulations. And I mean, we had a lot of people that were in the mid to high 90s. So good for all of you.
Does Suzu get first and second witch?
Someone loves their witches.
Nice job. Holy crap.
But you'll also notice that I started adding alive.
Yeah, I like that.
To it, just because it's not like it matters. We're not.
Can we put in brackets dead for the dead ones? I think that would be fun. And then haha.
No, it's dead loser. Yeah, but no. And then we had one person that was promoted because who was it? Was it Windborn? Shoot, I forget. My apologies. But somebody actually had 3 top 3s, but our rule is two top 3s. So we only had one person that was promoted. But yeah, congratulations to everybody, whether you were in the top 3 of a class or not. We had a lot of fun with it. It was a lot of fun to track and enjoy. And I don't know. Some people like it when somebody dominates an event. Other people, I love it. I think it's great.
It's fun.
I think we just had so much fun. It's nice seeing, because, I update the sheet every single time we do this, or we both do, but I recognize the names, and it's fun seeing the same names pop up sometimes, and then it's fun seeing a completely different shift in certain names. And
wow, Artemzor and Thalon both got the lottery this league and last league.
Yeah, they
Hackers.
did. Sneaky snakes. Yeah, that's right. They probably own the website that I use that does the spinning wheel.
And congrats to Ty. You got higher than I did.
It was funny. So we do normally, because Justin always crushes me and I'm always have like 600 people ahead of me. We do a lottery prize. Whoever gets higher than Justin, one person wins 20 points or $20 worth of points to Path of Exile if they get higher than Justin. And if you got higher than me, because there's so many, there's 5 draws of just $5, but still it's $5. So it was funny this time because this is the only time I've ever beaten you in a private league, and it wouldn't have happened. I mean, I'll take the praise. I'll take the credit.
You did it.
But you only got to play once, and there's no way that you
did awesome though, bud. That was awesome.
You would have done way better than that if you had your normal schedule going around.
Probably.
But either way, I'll take it.
I don't know that I would have, but I would have played more. Whether that would have amounted to me being higher, I'm not sure. But you did awesome.
Well, but your death was out of nowhere. Like your build was rock solid, and then it was one of those bloop, right? Just things that just annihilate you. So if you did the exact same thing over again, you probably would have done way better. So it was just kind of funny because now this time I got higher than you.
Yeah, and
but we're giving prizes for 5 people, 5 people for less, and then we could do the one for you.
That's awesome.
So, anyway, it was a lot of fun. Do you want to? I guess you don't have anything else to say about the private league this time because you didn't play.
We talked a little bit about it last week anyway, and that was the most for me.
I had already died finished. By that point, and you hadn't played since, right?
No, I did play after Dark last week because I was drunk.
Oh, right, in your drunk little. That's right.
And I did surprisingly well. I don't remember what level I got to, but I had no problem that night, Friday night, when I had been drinking. And then Saturday morning, before I started to edit After Dark, I was like, oh, I'll just play a little bit to level this guy up. Went to fight Innocence. And you know when Innocence does the thing where the balls go out, so you got to like move away from her to like move around them because they one-shot you typically, or they do so much damage. You know the ones I'm talking about? Yeah. They kind of like blow up and these balls fly outwards. And so if you move to the outside of the screen, you can kind of more easily dodge them. I did that, dodged them. And as I started to move back towards wherever Innocence was, because I was off screen, they just like dashed at me and instantly killed me. I was like, well, there's my private league. Back to editing. Yeah.
It's funny. There's like, the game's easy enough outside of some random mod that can show up in the game. But then there's every now and then there's a circumstance like a boss skill where you're like, oh, right, this skill. And you're like, kind of going around a little bit, dancing around. And so
a charge should have wind up and should not be allowed to happen off screen. Like I didn't even know it was coming. Maybe that's always what happens after that move. I don't actually know. But it was a
off screen stupid no matter what it is. I mean, even if he did something like die or
I'm coming.
Exactly. That's right. That's hilarious. Even if there's always like this really cheesy I'm coming, and then you still don't know where to go.
But at least you know to move. Or like,
sure, but half the time I'm going to be moving right into them because I don't know what direction they're coming from.
Yeah.
Anyway,
did you die?
Stuff sucks.
Did you end up dying?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I did. And so you got what, 71, 2, 3, something like that?
Yeah, low 70s.
And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to pass Justin for right now. Hopefully nobody tags him about it because I would hate for him to find out.
Oh, I found out.
I just
people were tagging me.
And yeah, I figured they would, but I was hoping nobody would because then I wanted to like I didn't think it would last though, because that was what, like Sunday night.
You got all the way to 75, I think.
I did. I got 75s, but I wanted to pass you in the private league, but then I needed to do real life stuff. So then I started doing that, but then I ended up having a little bit more time. So I'm like, okay, let's see how much farther I can go so that if Justin sees and he tries to pass me, maybe he just won't have the time.
I wanted to so bad try, but I was like, I don't even know. I don't have time.
Oh, right, because you had to start from scratch.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, so anyway, I'm like, you know what? Let's just get to 75. I like 75. It's nice. There's one of those sweet 3/4 numbers. Let's just get to 75. And so I got there and it was easy. Like my build was fantastic.
I was
in maps. First time I'd actually hit maps because the one time that I was sailing through way back when, the 68 that I was trying to beat, my personal hardcore record, I died from that stupid darkness, remember, way back. What was that heist league?
Yeah, I remember.
And
that
I guessed the wrong way. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've mentioned it a few times, but it doesn't matter. So this time I'm like, yeah, no, let's get to 75. And I'm flying like I'm doing Guardians with zombies and SRS. And I don't think I've leveled any faster, any safer, any better than I ever have. Soft core, hardcore, anything. It was just very
Any
smooth.
close calls?
I mean, a couple, but just, with like bleeds that I didn't notice. And then
Sure.
all of a sudden I'm hitting the button. And, like when you're going through in Act 3, I think it is, on the way to Duresso, there's just some of those arenas where there's all like 100 people in there, and all of a sudden there's a few different things that are on you, and then there's charges. So outside of that, yeah. And I mean, it was just very quick. It was like, oh, health low, and then my flask is up. My health is up after I hit my flask, and then that's not a worry anymore. So just minor close calls.
Mm-hmm.
But the build was just so solid. I was a guardian, and I went with the 2 minion nodes. I didn't get my 4th ascendancy, and then my other one was the one that gives you energy shield or armor, flat energy shield or armor based on the amount of mana or life that you're reserving, and or life. And it was just solid. Like, I've never ever leveled that fast before. It was great. And when I got to 75, it was like the second I hit 75, dead.
And what killed you?
I think it was corrupted blood, but I don't know.
Were you in
That
a
was
map?
it. Like, I was just I was just going through a map, having a good time, annihilating everything. I'm taking tons of damage, but like my build's meant for it. My resists are like, at that point, I think I was at 78 and 79 for my resists. I was at plus 23 or 24 for chaos. It was just, I was getting some fantastic stuff. Like, I had one of the best items that I've ever had drop in my life drop. It was, what kind of ring was it? I was waiting. I couldn't wait for a regal orb. It was fantastic. I'm going to bring it up. That's what I'm going to do.
Was it a magic ring?
Yeah. It was the best. Oh, it was so cool. Shut up.
That's awesome. Let's just say it was ruthless, and that's why he was so excited.
Wrecker's third zombies? What the heck is that? No. Wad's third attempt. There it is. All right. It was an amethyst ring, right?
Yeah.
It had 76 life and 28 cold resist. That was the best, man. I was just going through having a great time, so I couldn't wait. I finally got a regal orb, like in one of my first or second maps.
Or something?
I couldn't wait. Adds 1 to 2 fire damage to attacks. I know, right? It's so awesome. Stupid that I got like the roll you don't even care about at breaking the eggs. Like, it was so that funny. Bad, and it's a minion. I don't even do my own damage. Like, it was about as pathetic and pointless. And what am I going to do? Use my annulment on that? So yeah, I was really excited because it was such an epic item, and so I used I had another amethyst ring. Anyway, it was really, really strong, awesome, and then all of a sudden, dead.
That sucks.
I think it was corrupted blood, but it was hard to tell.
Corrupted blood's not typically that fast, though. I mean, it's quick, but it's not like.
I'm on half life because I'm reserving half my life with, and I have petrified blood. So I do have less time to react to that stuff. And I don't have, at that point, I wasn't immune to corrupted blood, didn't have the opportunity yet. And I didn't.
You couldn't have taken it in one of the like max res Pantheons? Rings or whatever. Like, were you in one of those max res rings?
Right. So with that one,
the chaos one,
the protection mastery, I didn't have available until I was in like the mid 80s as a character level. Okay. And so I could have gone out of my way and done maybe 5 points to get to it. But I did not remember, and this is my fault. I didn't, because at that stage I'm flying through flasks, right? I always have the highest amount of flasks. And so you're going from like hollowed to sanctified or whatever it is. And so I just finished getting the divine flasks, but it'd already been a few maps since I've had my 4 divine flasks. And I'm like, I mean, I wasn't going to stick with 4 divine flasks. I was just going to keep it to 1, but at that point I should have rolled, because I had about 90 alterations, and I know sometimes it can take a lot more than that, but none of them had bleed or corrupted blood, and it didn't even cross my mind to go to Einhart, and that's something that I would normally do anyway. So it was my fault. But on a side note, I hope Path of Exile 2 isn't as dispersed as our current game is.
In what sense?
There's just like 20 different people to talk to for 20 different mechanics, for 20 different crafting options, and because it's so dispersed, I don't think of it.
Hey, that actually reminds me of a conversation you and I had. Remember we were talking about that crafting bench, that new crafting bench
that we designed, and it's going to be amazing?
No, the one that they came out with, that new fancy one, the big crafting one.
I don't like anything that we didn't come up with.
But
oh, you're talking MTX.
Yeah, it was an MTX for your crafting bench. Yeah. No.
Okay, no, I hear you. What's up?
I got it in my hideout. It doesn't have it doesn't have anything different than a normal crafting bench. I thought it was supposed to combine all the crafting benches. It's not. It's one single thing you click to just have your normal crafting bench. The whole thing is an individual click. It's not like there's different parts of it that are it wasn't what I expected.
So you go from having like a handheld phone to using a computer from the 1980s that takes up your whole driveway to do the same thing.
Same thing. Mm-hmm. It's a little weird.
Does it look cool?
It looks cool, and it puts like a blue background around the craft area, like the craft thing. But I was scrolling through like, what the hell? There's like, I don't know why.
Crafting
I thought like the horticulture one would maybe be built into it or something, but no, it's not. It's literally just the exact.
That's really too bad.
Bench.
And when you bring up the crafting menu, I guess it covers the actual MTX in the background anyway, because your screen's loaded with the crafting menu, right? Yeah. So you can't actually see the crafting bench or anything cool while you're actually doing anything, right?
No. I can show it to you in my hideout, but I was a little disappointed because it's massive and it's not, besides putting a blue neon-y thing around the crafting square, I didn't notice anything different. And I looked.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
I still like the Atlas table. That's my favorite hideout thing that exists, because you click on the Atlas. It's a big table with it looks like, you got the actual paper version of the Atlas spread out in front of you. And then you click on it and it does interact with something. It interacts with, instead of needing to go to the menu and bring up your Atlas tree or Atlas. No, it's just Atlas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just Atlas. You click on the MTX and it brings up your Atlas.
You need
totally
to get...
pointless, but I love it. And it's cool because the MTX is still the original Atlas that it was when it was released. So it's back when it was the Shaper chasing the Elder or vice versa. Really cool layout.
You need to get the Atlas hideout and put the Atlas MTX right in the middle of where the Atlas shows.
Atlas hideout. Oh, you mean like
where it shows on the ground?
Oh,
it's like my favorite hideout. I'll never get it, but it looks awesome.
Me neither, because on PC, the guild version, I only do get the guild hideout on PC, and the Atlas that shows up on the actual hideout on the ground doesn't show on the guild hideout version.
It doesn't show yours, like the guild leaders?
No. We've talked about it, and we were disappointed that it didn't.
So it's just blank?
Kind of like, yeah.
Oh, that's too
it
bad.
Doesn't follow like your instance, like a portal would or anything like that. And so maybe they've changed it.
That seems like an oversight.
They did release MTX wise the Dragon Stash on console.
Oh, cool.
Finally. Yeah. So now I get to get it.
Nice. Also, just a note for the private league. If you got legend status, or if you were one of the winners, top 3 of each class, make sure you message me or Ty so we can give you legend status. I did take a minute though to quickly make crew, because we haven't had anybody like that before. I made the new Uber legend dose.
Yeah, so now you're Uber legend. Now you get 2 purple skulls.
Yes.
Crew.
They look awesome.
You have a requirement to type every now and then so people can see your epicness.
I think I had it in my head that you could have multiple icons for a person, but it actually just takes the icon for the highest rank that you have. So I had to design a little one with 2 of the skulls. I couldn't just add.
You couldn't do 2 tools. You couldn't just do 2 of the same icon.
Well, I had to create it, but you can't. So I'm not really sure how this is going to work if there's too many more than that, because they may end up becoming really small, because you still have to fit that many in the, you have the same square to work with, right? So if I all of a sudden have to get a bunch of skulls into that one, so I'm not sure. Well, maybe there'll have to be a colored version, like it'll change colors or something. I don't know, but I really like the pinky purple color. So
pinky purple.
Yeah, maybe we'll just add
awesome job to everybody in our private league. Yeah. Yep. Plus.
Yep,
awesome job. Done. Hope you had a great time. Can't wait to see you die soon. Cool week coming up, but let's talk about the week that just happened. Did you see any of the art competition stuff? They posted the winners.
Oh, these were the winners? Oh, okay.
They had winners and runners up, both posted. How do you suppose, they obviously look really cool, and congratulations to people that actually did their own work. How do you know if an image was created by AI or not?
You don't anymore.
Like, is that just something you just have to shrug your shoulders with? I mean, outside of the mask that we thought was cool, that they showed a YouTube video of them making that mask.
That is a good point.
How do
you don't know anymore.
Like, do you just have to shrug your shoulders and be like, well, they typed in the right words to AI, so.
I mean, I would hope that you could tell with some stuff, because I've never actually played around with the AI for Path of Exile specifically, so I don't know how detailed it would get on information about it. Also, stuff like the Crucible wouldn't be. Oh no, it would. I don't know. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know.
On certain AIs, it would be.
Well, the problem would be, I mean, the thing is, like, if I look at some of these, you would have to have done them yourself, because AI wouldn't know exactly what's like this one I'm looking at is called Forge of the Titans by Stella the Slaya. Nice name. That would never have been able. I can't imagine that would have been able to be done by AI, in the sense that it is Crucible. It's so focused on like what the Crucible
very
is.
New.
Yeah. Whereas there's other ones here where it is actually possible that you could have gotten some of these through AI. That is actually a tough thing now for like art competitions.
Yeah.
But
well, assuming everybody was legit and
they look good.
Applied with integrity, congratulations to everybody, because I went through the runners up and I went through the winners, and I'm like, you're all winners to me. Like, it looks fantastic.
Really
Do want to shout out Joshua01, because you specifically have a dying breath. It's not a staff that looks like dying breath. Your title and the image revolve around dying breath, my favorite staff in the game. Absolutely love it. Congratulations. But there's some really great ones out there, and look at the one that I believe is 11th. It's called Sword as Max Level. Amazing.
Okay, hold on. I'm scrolling because I was just looking at some other ones. Oh, there's the Dying Breath one. 11th Sword.
It's basically the guy, so the sword has like a skull that's all angry, but the sword itself has muscles and it's flexing at the enemy. But then you look at the hero holding the sword, and the hero's just like, ha, best sword in the game, can't beat me.
That one looks
so
awesome, but that is definitely one where you could make the argument that I'm not saying that they did. I think it's amazing, super good, but it is tough now for real artists to be able to differentiate themselves, because I could see that an AI coming up with something like that.
Yeah.
Looks cool though.
So then there was at the very bottom a 3D printed Crucible, which is really, really cool. So awesome job to everybody. It was really neat to go through. I mean, to the runners up as well. There's some fantastic ones there too. So great job to everybody. And then a div card story I always enjoy. And this one I had the time to read, and I did. It was just nice. It was just somebody who loves the game, supported, absolutely loved the environment and lore of Synthesis League, which seems to be a very common theme. Like, whether you liked the league or not, the story and the environment, like everything that this individual, what was their name? Sorry, wasn't in the title here.
Blah 2K6.
Blah 2K.
That's how they pronounce
Blah
it too.
2K6. Nailed it though. Like Synthesis League, for those that played it and actually went through the league, had their minds blown by lore. They had their minds blown by the environment, and just you were immersed. It was very, I seem to remember it like this. Like, some of the things that I love about the Souls games, like Dark Souls and Elden Ring, is the environment has a lot of story to it. You know what I mean? You have a lot of questions just based on the environment, and then the slow progress of what the enemies are like, and then of course in this case the boss reveal at the end was astonishing. So it was interesting.
One particular moment that stuck from Synthesis League was the cutscene where the player finds out that Kavas, Synthesis League NPC, is actually High Templar Venarius. I wanted the art of the divination card to resemble this cutscene and was very impressed with the result. What cutscene?
I don't know.
I played through Synthesis. I don't remember if there was a PoE cutscene that I missed.
No, I think what they're referring to would be like, the boss happens, and then there's like, how the Shaper used to pause the game and float for a second? People would call that a cutscene. Yeah,
maybe. That's cool though. I like that this isn't like I'm not gonna say my comment. I love it. It's awesome.
I know what you meant to say. All in good taste.
Yeah.
But I like these two because it's like, you know, if you don't pay attention to lore, you can be like, you learn so much about the lore just from this. Like High Templar Venarius was a very ambitious person who had the mindset that the end justifies the means. He wanted to save wraeclast at all costs, even if it meant torturing Valdo, who's the Shaper, and threatening to kill his daughter, Xana. Well, it just saved me like 100 hours of gameplay to figure out that lore. It's pretty cool. Anyway, and if you didn't know that, that's fine. It's kind of like one of those like late night talk show things where you don't feel bad for spoiling it. It's a little late. Yeah, you had your time.
Hey, credit to
really
them.
Cool div card, really cool story.
They
Two-K-6.
linked the cutscene. I just clicked on it. It happens in like when you're doing the fight. It's one of those things where the characters talk and nothing's happening. Oh, Ty's listening to some ads. Why is that so loud? Oh, you have it on your speakers. Anyway,
I changed it.
Yeah, so that's cool though, and they did a good job. That artwork is actually like exactly what you see in that scene. So
yeah,
very cool.
And they were humble enough to say that they couldn't come up with the proper flavor text for what they really wanted to do, and the GGG came up with something, and they loved it, and they applied it. So
that's awesome.
And there's ExileCon tickets available. Just, you gonna go?
Nope, we're going to be doing like episode 200, I think, while that's happening.
Glorious, perfectly timed. That's exactly what we planned for when we started.
That's why they did ExileCon then. Let's see. So hold on, 191, 192, 93, 94, 95 is on the 30th for us recording. 96, 97, 98. We're recording 199 on the 28th of July. It's happening that weekend. So our
200 is the one right after.
So for PoE2,
which is when we'll get all the stuff. That's stupid.
Man, they timed that well. Yep.
They couldn't have done it any kinder for us. Thank you, GGG, for thinking of us.
There was something. Let me find it. There's a spoiler, and I don't even think he meant this to be a spoiler, but I know it's a spoiler. Camille, my guy, tweeted.
What did he tweet?
He tweeted on May 30th. He tweeted, "I'm having an absolute blast working on the new league. That's it for now," with zipper closed on his mouth. Now, oh my goodness. Also, he tweeted on May 19th, the gift he got from his girlfriend. Wow, that is cool. It's the Witcher statue. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it is really cool.
But he tweeted, "I'm having an absolute blast working on the new league. That's it for now." Camille Jr. is the one that's been working on the new leagues, because Camille's been working on Path of Exile 2. So vis-a-vis, FYI, aka PoE 2 is coming.
It, huh?
Mm-hmm. I knew it all along.
That's it. That's what you're going on.
Yep. As soon as I read it, I was like, it's coming. I was right. PoE 2. So no, I'm not going to ExileCon. That was the question.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks. All right.
That was it for this week?
Yeah, you didn't play PoE this week, did you?
No, I didn't play anything this week. Did you?
Yeah, I did. Loved it.
Good.
And
thank goodness.
I even made
yell at us, people.
No. Hey, but I also made a post that had a lot of support.
Oh.
What? The only lack of support I got wasn't that my suggestion. Yeah, that's right. They wrote back like stupid. No, the only lack of support I got was from someone that agreed with me, but thought that I was wasting my time because GGG would never do it.
Okay, that's fairish.
So it's like negative support.
Sure.
But anyway, the idea was, I've talked about it, so I won't rag on it for now, but it was just the official suggestion, both on Reddit and on the Path of Exile website, where, so I have to word this carefully because I wasn't referring to minion skills. I was referring to the skills that minions use.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So for example, zombies have a default attack and zombies have a slam. So those skills need, I was asking GGG to update and go through all those skills again.
Okay.
Right. Because there's many minions that have many skills. You look at golems, you look at the Reaper. I mean, don't even start talking about different specters, right? You have zombies, right? There's just lots of different minions out there that have multiple skills. And so, but there's kind of like a 3-part issue to it. Not necessarily in that design, but then in what the user has available to them after that design. Now, this specific point, like, so the issue that I kind of brought up is threefold. The first one is users, for the most part, aren't in control of what skills the minions choose to use. Right. Now, that's understandable. The minions just have their own set of stuff, but the users don't have control of that. Understandable. But then when you throw in these other 2 points, it kind of makes the issue a little bit bigger. In the in-game resource, right? So, when you are highlighting a gem, when the reward screen or purchase screen, it will have a little pop-up menu that shows you which skills that you have socketed that support will work with. There's a green check mark or a red X next to it, right? So using a very simple skill with zombies, right? The skill gem itself says that the default attack is a melee, right? So it's a melee attack. Okay, so anything with melee or attack should work. But also, it is a strike skill, even though it technically doesn't have a strike tag on it, right? If I go to PoE if I go into POB, it has a tag skill, but it doesn't tell me it has a tag skill in the game. Right? There's nothing on the gem itself that says that.
Okay. Yep.
So when I highlight something like behead support, which is strike specific, it shows a green check mark for zombies. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, if it works, great. But now I have zombie slam to think about. Okay. Well, zombie slam is an attack and a slam, but it's technically not melee. So if I highlight behead support, it's going to show a green check mark next to raise zombie, but behead support does not work with the zombie slam. Melee support works for the default skill, but because the zombie slam is technically not a melee skill, melee support doesn't work with the zombie slam. Now, the zombie slam looks exactly like a player slam that you would use, which is melee. So there's a lot of conflict in there, right? So now let's say you throw in something like the Reaper obviously has about 5 or 6 different skills that it uses. You have Herald skills, right? Like the Herald of Agony has a whole bunch of different stuff. You have, again, the Golems have multiple skills. So you have this in-game resource that gives you conflicting information because you don't know which of those skills the support you're highlighting says works. You don't know which of the minion's skills works with the green check mark that you're getting from the in-game resource. Make sense? And then a lot of the zombie skills also conflict with each other tag-wise, right? They're either a projectile and a spell, or they're a melee and they're an attack. One's a slam, one's a strike. I mean, everything that the Reaper does looks like it's an AoE, but I think only 1, maybe 2 of the 5 or 6 skills that it has technically have an AoE tag, even though all of them are really wide-reaching. Like, there's a whirl that the Reaper does. It just is like this spin, almost like a
Is that when
cyclone.
you use the attack that it goes to, or is that just automatic? It does that?
No, that one's a different one. Anyway, that whirl apparently isn't AoE. Right. So like it's just a really confusing system and there's no support in the game. But even when I use stuff like Path of Building and PoE DB, where they glean the information, what's it called when they take information from them? They,
what is that noise I'm hearing? Is that birds?
Yeah, it's on your side. Yeah.
That's not my side.
It's my side. Do you have
like something playing? Or do you have like birds like in your house? It's stopped now. Yeah, it stopped.
Hang on, I'm going to go open my front door. Maybe there was like a bird party right by my office window. Just a sec. There was like 15 finches just outside. So my office people is like in the basement, but the office window is above the ground line. And the office window is right in front of the steps that lead up to the main entrance. So people walk past up the steps, the office entrance to get to the main entrance that we have. And so there's like 15 little finches on my steps, just like
they were actually there.
Yeah,
That's
they're
hilarious.
just like talking away. Did you see what Susie did? No way, you don't believe it. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. And anyways, so thanks for pointing it out. I'm just used to you having your window open and anything I hear is
No,
on
it's
you.
closed this time. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's okay. So anyway, it was just talking about like I wanted the suggestion was for GGG to go through the skills that minions use and update those tags so that A, it made sense to the user in game. B, it would be absolutely awesome if something, in Path of Exile 2 would actually help the user know the difference between the different skills the minions use, so they could at least focus on one, because that's kind of the conundrum with minion skills is because out of the different skills minions use, they conflict with their tags and what they are. And you basically have to pick one to focus on and then just hope they use it lots. Maybe with some skills, there are ways to manipulate it so that those minions use those skills more often. But at the end of the day, you have to pick one of the skills your minions use to focus on with your supports. So anyway, it was just kind of like an overall thing and of getting it done. Hopefully updating their tags and then having it so that at least the third-party sites like PoEDB and PoB actually had that proper information. What's it called? Data mining. That's what it's called. Because when they data mine that information, and I'm looking through this information, there's so much conflict. Like there's no way that certain skills should be working with certain skills. And then you have Mark GGG responding to one of my previous posts about this, saying, I'm pretty sure melee skills work with every single one of the Reaper's skills, but nothing tells me that. I have no way of finding that out in game. Like when I put melee support on my Reaper, what am I going to know? I can't see 15% less attack speed. I can't see that. So, he says that, but then when they data mine actual information, there's no melee tag on the majority of these skills. So blah, 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 blah. So that's the post I had. I had a lot of nice support, which was very kind. And the only negative support I had was that I was foolish for hoping. So that was good. And then, that's right. And my build in the private league excited me to the point, like just the progress. And I know it's foolish. It's a rookie mistake that I've been falling into for the last 20 years with Path of Exile, but leveling and being as a really smooth leveler, I get excited that the build's just perfect endgame. You know what I mean? Like when you're going through and you're just annihilating the campaign, you're like, this is going to be great. This is perfect. Okay, let's just turn this into an endgame thing and just say it's going to work, right? So anyway, I did have so much fun with the very surprising easy success of the build that I made. So I respect in standard on console this week the only Guardian that I have kicking around into a similar build. I tried revamping it a little bit because I still, every now and then, when I give Dominating Blow a break and I don't touch it for a while, I keep thinking that it's just the best and I really, really like it. And then every time I use it, I'm like, man, this just makes me so tired and I can't see half the time. Am I even reaching the enemy? And then I'm like, there's so many magic characters around and I'm not doing any damage. It's only my minions. And now I'm getting stuck because it's just magic and rares everywhere. And, you need to get that one death. So anyway, so then I end up getting frustrated with and then back and forth. But originally at the beginning of the week, I was trying to make this zombie Guardian or respec my Guardian on standard on console into the zombie Guardian that I had during the private league, and I was going to weapon swap. If I would have SRS in one staff, and then I'd weapon swap if I was in a Dominating Blow mood, and then Dominating Blow would be in the other staff. And so I tried to hum and haw about, because then my zombies are going to be in my 6th link on my chest. So now I only have 12 sockets left. So I'm like, okay, this is what I normally like in my minion builds. This is what I know worked really well with the last few builds that I did. Which ones can I, and trying to like squeeze it all in. I'll obviously have to cut stuff. And so tried to do that so that when I weapon swap, I'm not having to turn on auras or anything like that. It's just a smooth experience. And so that was fun. It was discouraging because I was reminded that the idea of Dominating Blow is what I love in video games. But the skill itself is not what I love. So, like if Dominating Blow could be a support and, I could put that on something like Purifying Flame, where I'm already doing my own damage, it's a worthwhile skill to use, and then I can summon those corpses because of the support, that'd be fantastic. So for some reason, I never remember that I don't like Dominating Blow, even though I wish I liked it. Or I like it, but I don't like how it works or is used. I don't know, whatever it is. But anyway, I spent the whole week doing that, theory crafting that, playing it out, progressing on it. And it's great. I mean, I'm in my really low 80s and I'm doing T15s and 16s and my gems are like level 8, 10. A couple of them are 20 from the previous time that I played with that build. But for the most part, I had to buy a whole bunch of new stuff from Lily. Is it Lily or Lana? Lana! Who does is it Lily? Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, it's progressing really well and it's going to be rock solid, but might just go back to SRS and zombies and then maybe switch it out because staffs, I don't know maybe I knew this. Maybe this is a conversation we've already had. So stop me if we have. But staffs suck for minions. There's no
Why?
+2 to minions.
Oh, for the what can roll on them?
Right. And like if I'm looking at zombies, their only tags are spell and minion. Well, there's no +2 spells generically on staffs, and there's no +2 minions on staffs. So if my minion doesn't have a fire tag or a physical tag, then staffs are weak, right? Like even if I use an Essence of Fear on the highest Essence of Fear on a staff, I'm getting up to 140 increased damage. But I get about 130, 120 increased damage on one wand. And I can get +2 spells. I can get +2 minions on a wand.
Are there any unique staffs that do?
Do which increase?
Plus,
most of the staffs are increased socketed gems.
Oh,
So-
they don't have like a flat minion one or whatever?
No.
Hmm.
No. So, I mean, maybe there is a unique out there, but I like, I haven't seen it. I didn't look through the uniques. So anyway, that was a little bit discouraging because I planned my build around being able to use a staff, right? Being able to 6-link my SRS along with having 6-link minions. And now it's like, okay, so I use a high Essence of Fear. I got 140 increased minion damage. And in the back of my head, I know that I'm missing out on minion gem levels, and I could probably have an extra 100 increased minion damage if I just did 2 wands. So the idea in my head was exciting to go through. And then as I actually started to implement it and play through it, I was like, man, this sucks. And then I started thinking about how GGG doesn't even have a 2-handed weapon that's int and dex based. The whole game.
What do you
The whole
typically
game, there's
link
nothing
to
that's
SRS?
interdex. Well, in this case, it's different because I don't care if they die. So what I was planning on doing this go around was, let's see, SRS and Summon Phantasm, minion damage, so they get damage but less health, which is also good for me. I like minion speed because that also increases my cast speed as well, because I have the spiritual, not spiritual aid, but the other spiritual one that, copies the cast speed of minions. I'm gonna have to bring it up. Sorry, man, I don't remember. So, okay, SRS, Summon Phantasms, there's minion damage and minion speed. Because I was doing the 6-link thing and I was really trying to make the dominating blow workout, I didn't have anywhere for secondary minions before, so I did have Feeding Frenzy on here as well. And then I also did Spell Echo. And I really like Spell Echo as opposed to Unleash because Spell Echo works well with Summon Phantasms. Spell Echo will make the Summon Phantasm projectile shoot twice as well. So it helps me easily get 20 SRS out really fast, Spell Echo, but then it also helps me replace them quick, which is healing my zombies. But Summon Phantasms gets the nice damage bonus to that. So, But now that I'm choosing to not go with Dominating Blow, I might change my links up a bit, and then maybe I can get a Golem back into the build, so I can add Feeding Frenzy to the Golem instead with Calling Strike, and then that'll free up something else for SRS. I really like Infernal Legion a lot. Yeah. That's the one where they burn. I know that the damage is redundant when you have multiple minions with it, but just the quality of life in battle is so good because there's so many SRS. Yes, your DPS is a little bit down, but it's so good against enemies with energy shield because they're just always burning. Their energy shield isn't going back up all the time, you know what I mean? And the clear speed is just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. So
I was just trying to think if there was a way that you could put the SRS into a helmet, which would then give you close to a 6-link.
Oh, easily. Yep. Yeah. They have a minion damage one.
Anyway,
I don't know if I would want anything else that they do. Like, I'd be happy to 5-link it. I'd be happy to 4-link it. I was 6-linking it because I was trying to do the weapon swap thing nice and smooth. But if I'm sticking specifically with SRS, I'm probably going back to wands, and I'm not going to 3-link SRS. I'll 4-link it. And so then I would put it back into the helmet. And then I would do something like Golem, Feeding Frenzy, and then a level 1 Calling Strike in one hand. I don't know, I'd figure it out, but I'd probably do something like SRS, Summon Phantasm, Spell Echo, and minion damage. Maybe I'd get rid of Spell Echo and go with Infernal Legion if I was doing a 4-link.
You could get the minion damage on the helmet though too, which would then let you have a 5-link.
If I did. Yeah, that's an easy swap out for sure. One thing that I've been really enjoying, especially with the minions gain 5% of life on minion death, is cast and damage taken support level 1, summon skeletons level 1, and then a curse and purifying flame. And that's just fun. It does eat up your mana quite a lot, but it's really enjoyable seeing the skeletons go pop, down, pop, 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 just constantly dying.
Cool.
So that's good stuff. Anyway, yeah, so I had a busy week with it. I re-taught myself my preferences of this. So in a way, it was kind of a waste of time because my whole week was dependent on making Dominating Blow work with it, but whatever. Oh, I also did something fun with the private league because I was planning on being alive and I died like just before, like 2 hours before the private league was actually going to end. I wanted to see what it was like if I was alive when the private league actually expired. Like what would happen to my character if I was playing at the same time.
Like right as it ends, you mean?
Yeah. So like I'm in-game mapping, it doesn't.
What does it do?
So I kept playing. Now I had to create a new character for this because my character died at 75, but I created a new character and I was going through the first section, the beach or whatever it is before breaking the eggs. And I'm looking at my clock, and I wait, make sure it's a couple more minutes, and I'm gaining XP. I'm gaining XP even though the timer's expired. And I can see my XP changing on the private league screen on the website. But the second I switched instances, I was allowed to switch an instance, but the second I got into the next instance, the game just froze. My character just froze. It took about a minute, but then it said the
Did you make a new character to test this?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's fun.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. So yeah, you can actually still gain XP if you're still in your instance.
I wonder if it counted towards the private league standing.
I saw because I had auto refresh on the private league website, and my XP was going up.
Scams.
I mean, it's nice that it actually lets you finish whatever instance you're in, but then you can't switch instances. So even if you were to portal out and portal back into a map, you're done. So it was a good week. It was a good week. Now, before we go, I know you want to go, but Diablo 4 is coming out, Just.
Yeah, it came out today, I think, for people who paid early or whatever, like the extra money.
Oh, I don't like that stuff. People that get to play before other people. I don't like it.
No,
I don't. Stupid.
Yeah. I think you have to pay. I think it wasn't even like the base level. I think you had to buy like one level up of the base game. I saw them, actually, I went for dinner with Ethan and Matthew. Christina and I went out with them for dinner, which was a lot of fun. We went out to some place that Ethan really thought was amazing. It was like, okay, yeah, it's good. It was tacos. It was like a Mexican place. But he was like, did you see how much Diablo 4 costs? It's like, it's $98 for the base game or something like that. Somewhere around $90. I'm like, yep, that's Blizzard.
Yes,
and then he was saying that the one level up, whatever it gives you MTX wise, is what got you 4 days early. I was like, oof, no thanks. I am going to play it, but I don't know when.
Did you pre-order it?
No.
You're just going to buy it whenever you have the time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was no point to me pre-ordering it.
I'm really curious to see what oh, sorry, I didn't see your note until just now. How long ago did you retype that?
No, it's fine. Keep going. You didn't see what were you finish what you saying?
I'm really curious to see what the Path of Exile community has to say about Diablo 4. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that love Diablo 4 because it's different than Path of Exile, and there's going to be a lot of people that hate Diablo 4, right? But then there's going to be a whole bunch of people that hate Diablo 4 because it's not Path of Exile. So I'm just really curious to see what the feedback's going to be on Reddit, on our Discord. I mean, this game has been. When did Diablo 3 come out?
A long time ago.
I know you want to hurry.
It had to have been actually a really long time ago. Yeah, I don't remember when it released.
May 2012.
Well, so it's been a while. 11 years in the making.
Yeah, so people have been waiting a long time for this. So I'm just really curious what people are going to say. But I don't care what Diablo players have to say about Diablo. I care about what Path of Exile players have to say about Diablo.
Why? It's its own game. It's its own thing.
Yeah, just but it's really the only competition. No matter what other games come out, they've all fizzled. Nothing's ever compared.
To like both, though, too.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. But then now you're going to have, now that the game's actually
there's definitely going to be a comparison for sure.
Yes. And especially from GGG employees. So now the next time, we see CW on one of the interviews, there's going to be questions that come specifically from Diablo. And these are things we love. Oh my goodness. We've wanted this for years in Path of Exile land, and Diablo 4 has had it. So I don't know. Like, it'd be interesting to see how it's swayed. and what happens with it.
I think it'll be very curious to see how it goes up against Path of Exile 2. Like once Path of Exile 2 comes out, because then you've got 2 more current generation versions of their games coming out. So yeah.
When did you write your note?
Just a little bit ago. That's fine.
Okay. Sorry, man.
No, we're all good. So let's wrap this up, hey? Forever Exiled.
I rambled the whole time. My apologies.
No, you
the
didn't.
T-Bone episode.
The zombies. We gotta get the minions in there. People get upset.
Listen, I said I wasn't going to talk about zombies. It wasn't zombie specific. I just used them as the
You're right.
example.
I agree.
For the post that I made.
Mm-hmm. You're fine. It's all good. Forever Exiled. I'm Justin, aka Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
Thanks for joining us for episode 191. We will see you Patrons in After Dark. Everybody else will see you next week in 192. Thanks to everybody who played in the private league with us. If you're looking for more information, you can find it down below. We got a website, foreverexiled.com. We're on Twitter, foreverexiled82. We have a very fun Discord. You should pop in and say hi. Patreon and other ways to support the podcast are down below and on our website. Goodbye.
See ya.